Okay, hi. Welcome back. Part two. Part two of my astrology birth chart reading of Sun Scorpio, Moon Aries, rising in Capricorn. Sorry, that was kind of weird, but I kind of need to put the baby to bed. So it worked out good. Sometimes I feel so rushed doing these readings, and then I just have to remind myself that, like, people are paying me to offer them this service, and it would be such a disservice if I rushed through it. And I just need to stop doing that shit. Glad we talked about that. Okay, so I think we talked enough about Scorpio. Long story short, you are intense AF. You're a hard worker. You like to get down. You like to get dirty. You're a go-getter. Like I wrote down in the notes, I'm a killer. I'm not a killer, but don't push me. That is a very great description of a Scorpio. Like, you don't want to be pushed to your limits, but like you're always kind of pushing limits, and you're gonna push the limits if you see that the limits need to be pushed. So yeah, if you have any more questions about Scorpio, reach out, let me know. All right, so we're going to move into Moon in Aries. So obviously this is a really important planet position because this is your inner thoughts, how you feel about yourself, how you see yourself. All the other birth chart readings that I have done, the Moon reading has obviously meant something, but I really felt like this reading in particular for you was in the Moon placement was like, it's really powerful. It's so yeah, let's just start. So Moon in Aries. Nothing happens fast enough for an Aries. Instant gratification rules. Yeah, and that kind of goes back, ties into your sign of Scorpio too, like of just wanting so many things, having so many desires. You just are always wanting more, doing more, which is okay. Like, it's okay to want more and to know that you are going to get more in life, but it's one thing to just like kind of be like over frivolous with it, I think, you know. And you are very impatient when it comes to a lot, but mostly when it comes to things that you want. Like, you don't really wait. If you want something, you freaking get it. And that's like something to admire about people, because people on the other flip side of that spend their whole lives wanting and wishing for things and never pulling the trigger because of whatever reason. So you, Moon and Aries, are very opposite of that. You have a feeling of wanting to treat yourself, wanting the finer things in life. You kind of like have nice hair. You want to show out. You have nice clothes. You want people to think that like you have this like very like successful life. Not saying that you don't, but the image is very important to you. And hold on, we'll talk a little bit more. It's you live in the moment. You like to live life to the fullest, which is a great thing. I just said there are so many people that live their whole lives not doing that. So it really is something for you to have gratitude for, is this like exploration and deep passion for wanting more. Like, that's a blessing. That's something to be thankful for. But you have a hard time looking long term. Like, you know what you want, but like, you just don't want to take the time to do it. And that's just, it's just not possible. I know that we say like, you've heard the saying like Rome wasn't built in a day, but it really freaking wasn't. Overnight success is, there's no such thing. I mean, like maybe winning the lottery or like going viral on TikTok or something like that, but really it's just like, it's not real life. You have to put in the work. It will feel so much better when you get to that end goal, that end success, when you know you've put in the hard work for it, because you are so capable of putting in the work. You have to stop wanting this like instant dinner life, simply, especially if you're putting pressure on yourself because of an age. Like, you have this idea of like what you should be doing, where you should be at, what you should have, and you got to release that. Like, that is a stigma that's put on us by society, by our family. It's a learned trauma behavior. I'm going to make a lot more videos talking about this, but just like really breaking down our subconscious way of thinking. Our subconscious mind rules our lives. Like more than 80% of our decisions are made through our subconscious, and almost all information that we intake gets intaked to our subconscious. So for us to be conscious human beings, it really means mastering your subconscious and really, is this my thought? Is this what I want? Does this make me feel good? Is this part of the plan? Really pinpointing those answers and being honest with yourself. That's also something that's very important. Emotions are just, you're just an emotional person. You just love, breathe, live big with emotion. Like everyone just kind of knows how you're feeling. And you get defensive if you feel like somebody doesn't recognize what you're feeling. And you have to know that people not accepting your emotion in the exact moment, like you wanting instant gratification from everyone in your life about every single decision that you make or that you have, or like emotion, is unrealistic. You are setting people up to fail. They don't have that same kind of mindset as you. They don't have that same kind of go-getter attitude. And for you, that's so hard to comprehend, but they just don't. You have to stop putting your like answers and your happiness and how you feel on other people's reactions. Like it's just really causing you a lot of bullshit. Like you like do a lot of like reserving, like you don't understand or you don't know, and you build these walls up and you get so like and like very Elsa like. And instead of doing that and like forcing everyone out of your ice world, like build like an ice rink. Ice skate for a little bit and then come back, because you do that and then you have to break down a whole ice world and then go back to like point one. And that's like wasting a lot of time. It's wasting a lot of time for your indecisive ass. So stop doing that. Is that a good advice? I'm going to get rid of my gum. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Yum. Okay, so let's say you're not afraid to put yourself out there. You make lasting impressions. You appear very strong and confident, but you definitely have a lot of ups and downs, which is like a good thing. Like you have this resilience about you that you just don't let stuff like get to you. Like you know that life is hard. Like you know that really great things happen to really bad people and really bad things happen to really great people, and there's just nothing that anyone can do about it, and you just got to keep moving on and moving forward. You are kind of just like with the decisions and like how you are, you just like let stuff just like roll off your shoulders, which a lot of people get offended by that because they're like, what don't you understand? And it's not that you don't understand or you don't care. It's just like you're just like constantly trying to get to the next thing, and to just learning to slow down. Slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down. Somewhat temperamental, drop of a dime. People say that you might love trouble and confrontation, but you just get bored with being bored. And it's not in a bad way. You just, again, Scorpio, you're intense, you're strong. You come out like, boop, 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 guns blazing. And everyone's like hitting the fucking floor like, holy shit. And you're like, oh my God, I didn't even mean to do that. Like, whoa. And then you have like to spend so much time like rebuilding connections and relationships, because first impressions are hard to remake. And like building lasting impressions, people have an idea of who you are. That's even harder to break. So just really just pinpointing that you just don't have to be so intense all the time, that you're still an intense person, and everything that you do, you can do with intense passion, but not everything deserves intense reaction. Oh, that was good. Write that down. You just, so again, about being bored, you are just like, honestly, you feel like the people around you are slackers, and you think that you're just like, essentially, I don't want to say better because I don't want to offend you, but your mindset of like you always wanting more, you take anybody else who doesn't want that as a slacker. And that's not true. There are people who are very content with less. There are people very content with mediocre. There are people very content with doing things that make you want to snore. And you just have to have acceptance for that. And once you have acceptance for how they are, the acceptance for you will flow. It will flow, it will flow, it will flow. You just like have, it says that you are prone to having several crushes and or short-lived desires in life. You have a very hard time telling the difference between a need and a want. Again, back to that impulse attitude. So you might want something, a pair of shoes or a purse. It's so cute. You have to have it. And your bank account's like, no, bitch, we don't. And you're going to do it anyways. And that need of you wanting that purse became a want in your mind, and you didn't care what it was, or even a person or a relationship, or you just have a really hard time staying in the reality of true needs versus wants. And that's a really hard pill to swallow sometimes, is like we don't want to give up things we want. Like nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to do that. It's very hard, but you will find that you will see your life shift and you will see more success and more positive things happen when you really are pouring your energy into things that you need and that are going to benefit you. You have such an overpouring attitude that you overpour into so many things, and then you're spending so much time either trying to get that back and refill, or you're trying to find another source to fill you back up. And it's wasting time, and you don't want to waste time, and that is why you're feeling so restless. I really hope that makes sense. I really hope that's resonating with you. What you want in life is powerful. You are intense. You do want all of the finer things in life, and that is okay. It's okay. Yeah. It's okay. It is totally okay. You don't need to conform. You don't need to settle. Don't settle because it's outside of other people's realistic expectations. It might seem crazy to somebody else, but it's only crazy until it's successful. It's only crazy until it's real. It's only crazy until it's happening. And sometimes you just have to stop caring what anyone else thinks, because people are going to think like, oh, well, you're just doing something else again. Let it roll off. You really have to start being protective of your energy and your space and your time, because time is an illusion, which I'll make another video one day. But we really are put on this world, on this earth, for a purpose, for a soul purpose. We are not a person living with a soul. We are a soul living with a person. It's just our soul purpose is so much more beneficial and matters so much more in the grand scheme of life than our artificial 3D subconscious wants and needs. Again, I really hope that resonates with you. Sometimes that you forget that the people around you have emotions, especially when it comes to yours. We kind of already talked about that. So just allowing yourself to have more of a calming, not so Elsa-like attitude. You don't have to have huge confrontations on every single conversation. You can be wrong. You can be the listener. You don't have to be the one that's offering all the time. That's why you feel so exhausted. Allow other people to offer where they are strong and where they can, and you will find that people will start feeling so much more comfortable and so much more seen in your presence that they'll want to be in it. It says that you don't play mind games, which is a very positive thing. Nobody likes that. You have a childlike innocence about you. It says that you're strongly influenced by your mom. So that just has to do with where your sun sign is placed and the placements on the chart. Again, we can go more into that kind of. But it's just again, we'll talk about it more in your chart. But back to that subconscious breaking. How we were programmed, how we were raised up. It is part of our paradigm. It is part of our life. We manifest everything for ourselves, and we have to know that our mother did give us life and is the most beautiful, amazing person, but do you want to be her in 10 to 20 years? And that's not a negative question. As a mother, I want my children to take positives from me, but I always want them to be better than me. Of course I do. I'm going to be a millionaire, but I want them to be billionaires. Do you know? And as a mom, that is very understandable. And anybody who would be upset by that is just seeking control over you. And it is time to just break those chains. But moms aren't wrong either. Sometimes they're just a little too strong, just like you. So you really have to understand your mom in that sense. I don't know where that came from. It's not written in my notes, but I just needed to say that. Your sense of belonging is you just want to belong somewhere. You want to be loved. You want to be seen. And it is causing you to be restless. Again, you're just, something doesn't work out, gone. Something doesn't, gone. And that is a good attitude to have, but you have to have enough confidence in why you're doing what you're doing or why you want what you want to go the long haul with it. Because if it's not worth the long haul, then it isn't really what you want. Is it really what you are doing all of this for? It's a very honest question. And sometimes honest questions are really hard to deal with, but that's where shadow work comes in. And that's where breaking the paradigm and really breaking through in your life, that's where the freedom lies. So don't be afraid to do that. Do not be afraid to do that. And you're not alone doing that. Always know that. Always know that. You are strongly influenced by people, and it's just because you just want to believe the best in people. And like love at first sight is not something that you should do. Or even just like friends, like meeting somebody and like trusting them with like all of your information. Like you're too trusting, and it's not coming from like a naive place. It's just coming from like wanting to believe that people are as good as you, and they're just not. And you deserve to be shown that they deserve your trust, that they deserve your love, that they deserve your time before you give it, because it is so precious, and it deserves to be protected. It really does. It really does. If you allow yourself to continue to get whisked off in these like short-term endeavors and short-term dreams and ideas, like you're going to continue to feel emotionally out of balance and out of whack. It's just the way it is. Your chakras, which I'll make another video on, is just causing your life to feel like a world when it's not. You can be flying in the highest jet, fastest jet, and be in control. That's what going to school for, and learning your body and learning your mind. You can do that, but you're not going to do that by just like flying off the handle. You're going to crash. You're crashing. You've been crashing. And I know that that's not what you want to continue to do. So it's really time to just like be honest with yourself, be honest with your decisions, be honest with the people around you, with your emotions, with your gut instinct. Like, just be honest with all of that. Okay, so that's Moon in Aries, which again, geez. Okay, so Mercury in Scorpio. Honestly, I kept this really short. It's pretty similar to your Sun in Scorpio. So it's just, you are a fresh breath of buzzing, energetic, crazy, exciting, passionate, intense energy. And people who like crazy, buzzing, passionate, intense, exciting energy love you. But people who don't like that kind of stuff, that stuff makes them scared, or that stuff makes them feel intimidated, they will forever go back, and no one's listening when they have a guard up. And sometimes that's why you might feel like you have communication problems, is you're just coming in too hot. You're coming in too hot. Your intentions are pure. Your heart is gold. You are so smart. You really do know so many things. You really are so capable of being so in control and powered, but you are just allowing your out of whack communication to just like kind of rule. And not everything has to be that way. You don't always have to be right. You don't always have to have the last word. You don't always have to be better. Comparison is a thief of joy. Comparison is a thief of joy. Comparing yourself to anybody at any moment doing anything else is stealing your joy right now. And the universe does not like when you do not have joy. And gratitude is the key to all things manifesting. Gratitude. The universe's number one universal language is gratitude. And when you are just feeling like out of whack and like, you know the meaning of what you want in life, you can see deep into people, you can see layers into people, you can really analyze situations. And again, like I said, you are right most of the time, but people are not listening to you because you're not coming in with a voice that's able to be heard. You're coming in with this ego, and you have to let your ego take a seat. Sit down, ego. Okay, because you're a powerful ass bitch, ego, but you scare people with the most love, like with love. People just don't know how to take you, and again, when they get to know you, they get to see that you are the most compassionate, caring, smart, loyal, amazing person. But like, you have to earn that just as much as other people deserve to have that earned for you. Yes, it does. Like, you do need to continue to have like fresh interactions and fresh settings. Like, you're not ever going to be okay with being bored. You're not ever going to be okay with settling. Like, that is not something, like, I hope that's not something you're searching for or reaching for, because that's not going to happen. Content is not in your vocabulary, in your soul vocabulary. Like, and that's okay. And it's not until you find partners and friends that also have that same drive and same energy and same idea that you will see yourself be successful with a group of people. It just will not happen until you really are honest with your relationships and you stop settling and you stop expecting people who have either one, been there forever, or two, just are there to be that person. And they can still be a person in your life, but they're not going to be the person that like fills your cup. And you are like trying to pour from an empty cup, and it's like literally so many people are complaining. Not literally, but like in like a restaurant setting, you know what I mean? Like no water, you know? Yeah, I think that's good for Mercury. So Mercury is the communication. So Venus is the love and relationship side. So Venus is in Capricorn. Goal-oriented, witty, savvy, controlled, responsible. No one can get the best of you. You are conscious in love. You don't really go cray-cray. You're not like an overly like emotional, like cringy. I don't know why I use that word. Like romantic person. Like you're not going to be making billboards, and you're not going to be like writing, like you just show like you have really subtle, passionate, pure acts and emotions of love. And it is like until you really like emotionally and physically and like communicatively show that and express that to somebody, they're going to be confused. Because they're going to be like, dang, like, does she even fucking like me? Or like, dang, like, is she even my friend? And it's up to you to let people know how you're going to love them. It is also up to you to learn the love language. I explain to people all the time that with my husband, he's a love language of touch. I am a love language of words of affirmation and like acts of service kind of. And so I could spend hours and days writing love notes and diary notes and journal entries to Justin, expressing my love for him. And it's not that he doesn't feel my love, but that's not talking in his love language. I'm literally talking to him in Chinese about how much I love him. And he's sitting here like, okay. And vice versa. He is trying to give me love and not words or acts of service. And he's speaking to me in Japanese. We're not hearing each other. And therefore our communication wavelengths we think are wrong, and they're not wrong. They're just misdirected. So just really tuning in with even your own love language. I know there's a site that you can literally just Google like free love language assessment, and it'll show you. I know there's some things on Facebook that I've seen that'll give you like love language avoidance, things that you shouldn't do. And that will be key to really finding success in your love language. You're not cold, you're not unemotional, you're just a more reserved way of showing it. And having somebody express like, oh my God, you're so cold, or oh my God, you're so this, like that's going to like hurt your feelings. You're not going to like that. So just be like really honest from the get all the time. Honest from the get. You are a deep soul with a desire for romance in a long love life. So like, no, you don't want to like be like super bougie with it, but like you do want that, and that's totally okay. You have to allow yourself to like have a partner that is just as excited and just as serious and just as goal oriented as you. Like you are not going to be you might be successful because of just like your chart, but like you're not going to be happy or fulfilled or doing things that really fill your freaking cup with somebody that you're dragging along. Like it's just too much work. It's just so hard to try to run with people who are walking. You are spending too much time looking back, trying to drag them, too much time trying to grab their hand, too much time. And it's not that they don't matter, but you matter more. You matter more, and you are not the only runner in the world. You are not the only person that's a go-getter. You are not the only person that's willing to do the work. You're not the only person that feels and acts like you feel. And just because you might not have ever gotten that validation in somebody before doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It just means you haven't found it. And hopefully now with this enlightenment, you'll know how to look and you'll know how to find it. This is good stuff, right? You are very generous and devoted and big-hearted, but you have to protect that. People will take advantage of people like you, people like us, people like my daughter, Jalen. That's like the first person that comes to my mind. Your need to be liked instantly by everybody in every relationship, in every scenario, is truly causing you missed, sincere relationships. You have to release wanting to be liked and loved by everyone. It's not going to happen. People hate themselves. They hate themselves so much that they spend all day putting hate into the universe and speaking in a vibration of hate and of low frequency. And they spend their lives saying, well, of course this happened to me. And of course this, and of course that. What else could go wrong? I'm jinxed. I'm this, I'm that. And then they die and they find that they literally did absolutely nothing with their freaking life. And you do not want to be that person. You are not that person. And you have to just like protect yourself, protect your energy. It is so beautiful. It is so eccentric. It is magnetizing. People can't help but want to be around you because you're so you, and you're willing to give them the shirt off your back, but you have to stop letting yourself stay in the cold, and you have 12 people out here wearing all 12 of your coats. Stop. Take those back. And it is not until somebody fucking proves to you that they deserve your coat that you give it off your back and that you give it to them. And it does not matter what they say to fool you. You know. You are strong. Your intuition is not wrong. What you want is not crazy. What you desire is not off the handle. What you are looking for is not unheard of. Anything that we want or desire in life has already been wanted and desired and received. Does that make sense? Like there's nothing that crazy that we are wanting in this life that hasn't already been done before. Period. Like it's not that crazy. We're very unique, but like our desires and our wants in life really aren't. So protect that. Jumping in like just too fast is just like creating interference with your life. Like, yes, the ocean's never supposed to like lack waves, but you feel like you are just constantly being whirlwinded, hit in the head, and you're doing it to yourself. You're doing it to yourself. You're rowing this way, rowing this way, and like you also have like a propeller on this side, and you're like, why the f am I going in circles? You're doing too much. You're doing too much. You already have a motor that's putting you in the direction. Sit back and enjoy the ride. Like stop creating more harm in your life by trying to prove to yourself that everything you want and everything you need and everything that you see is real and is honest and is genuine, because it's just not. It's just not. And that's just the sad world that we live in. Moderation is key. It says that you might find love with an older partner and somebody who might appreciate like in your intelligence and your viewpoint on life. I deal with this a lot. Like just me not even being 30 yet. People, I've just never, ever connected with people my age. I mean, I had friends, of course. I had tons of friends. I was friends with everyone, but like I was just different. I just had this old, beautiful soul. And like my husband now is 11 years older than me. We have beautiful children. Like that was just like something that I really needed to do, because I cannot stand being with someone who's like just like not there. It drives me fucking crazy. So you're kind of the same way. Okay. Mars in Scorpio. So I kind of got like super caught up on Mars in Scorpio during the explanation. I don't fucking know why. But Mars is your action. What you do, how you do. And again, that is in Scorpio. Intense ass bitch. Okay. Good thing. It's a good thing. So, black and white is all you know. There is no such thing as gray to you. And gray is stupid. Anybody who sees gray or offers gray is just wrong. And in your mind. And I'm not here to say if that's wrong or right. But you just have to like, I put just do it was probably created by a Scorpio. LOL. You literally wrote that in there. You love a good challenge. You go hard in the paint. A lot of people might see you as like being really calm and reserved and cool on the outside, but truly on the inside, you're like a raging, fiery ball of passion. Like literally just like Mars. Like that's how I imagine Mars. And it's just like, that's not ever going to go out. The second that your passion and your intensity goes out, you're dead, bitch. Okay? It's time to start living with that as your superpower. With that as your freaking passion. Stop questioning yourself. Like, stop questioning why you feel the way you do and why you are so strongly built and strongly communicated. You are that strong for a freaking reason. Like, this is not just a coincidence. Like, you do not have these abilities and these powers inside of you to truly look so deep and be so intense and be transformational for not just yourself, but for other people around you on accident. You have to start tuning in to these abilities and to this power that you possess. And the second, I mean the motherfucking second you do, it is just going to like shift your life, and like all of this energy that you're putting toward negative ass bullshit that is not meant for you, you're literally going to just 180 switch. You're not even going to think about that anymore. And you are going to only be focused and concentrated on the positive, on the good, on the pure, on the deserving. And again, that's hard. And again, sometimes you fall from that. Sometimes you have bad days. Sometimes we have bad moments. Sometimes you catch yourself like, why am I doing this? Why am I thinking this? And that takes a big person. Like, you're not failing or like lacking or losing by taking time to reflect. Reflectors are winners. Okay? For real. Like, you really have to stop being so like inside out, like the anger guy, like he's just like, and don't you just wish that like you could just like, dude, stop. Like, our brains are not like inside out, and we do have control over our emotions. Well, kind of, it is, whatever. But it really is as easy as not paying attention to that emotion. I know it sounds crazy. But the second you feel anger, the second you feel sadness, the second you feel guilt, the second you feel worry, the second you feel lack, the second you feel low, literally, if you have to even say out loud, stop, do it and redirect. Stop and redirect. And if you have to literally say that over out loud, like for 6 months or a year until it just becomes habitual, it will become habitual and you won't even have to think about it. You're going to be on the bright side of life, and it's going to be like, wow, why did I live so long on the other side? So ASAP on that. It says that you need to learn to ask for help before you are drowning. So that beautiful saying or like expression, whatever, that we've all heard before is like, there's a guy drowning and he like prays to God, like, Lord, please God, save me, Lord, save me. And then a boat comes and he's like, no, I'm good, Lord, finna save me. And then another boat comes and he's like, no, I'm good, Lord's finna save me. And then another boat comes and he's like, bro, like, get on the fucking boat, I'm here to save you. And he's like, no, I'm waiting for God. And then he ends up drowning and dying, and he gets to heaven and God's like, yo, bro, what the hell? And he's like, I was waiting for you to save me, Lord. And he says, I sent 3 boats for your dumb ass. Don't let that be you. Don't let that be you. Get on that first boat, take the freaking blanket, take the cup of hot cocoa, know that you got yourself into some waters that were a little crazy, and you have help now. You've been rescued now. Yay! Gratitude. Instead of feeling like a failure, gratitude. Just like that. Gratitude. Okay? Wow. How you doing? Doing good? All right, 33. Let's see how much we got. I think I'm going to finish Mars and then we're going to take another break because we're getting a little long. Okay? So it says that you don't have to let people like, okay, so like you feel like you need to prove yourself so strongly that you're willing to do whatever you gotta do to not be wrong. And that means not asking for help, not admitting that you were wrong. And then you find yourself in these really secluded, dark places. Then it feels so lonely. You feel so lost. And like, there's so many people on the outside, like, just let me help. Like, I'm here to help. And again, your ego is not allowing you to help. And your ego is not ever your friend. Okay? Your ego is not going to save you in that dark, empty room, that dark, empty space. Your ego is not going to shed the light that you need to get out and to get up. The people wanting to help you and the good people who love you and deserve your love are. And you have to stop pushing them out so fucking far and then having to explain to them why, blah, 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 blah. Stop building the ice castle, dude, okay? Your gut instinct is not wrong, but you just have to sit on it for a minute. Just because you see inside of somebody or like you see the layer of somebody, it doesn't mean that it's your job to bring it to the surface. And I know that's really hard for you to understand, because if it needs to be said and if you see it and not everybody else sees it, then what are we doing? You don't want to be fake. And that has nothing to do with being fake. That has to do with being in control of your energy. And is like what you know or what you want to do worthy enough of disrupting your energy? 80% of the time, it's like, not really. Your energy is precious. You have to start knowing that your energy is currency, and not the currency that we know. Your energy that you put into this world is leveling you onto a level of high frequency or low frequency. Are you riding in the train, on the low train? Or are you up on the top taking pictures of London and enjoying the ride? Or are you in the bottom so squished together like sardines you can't wait to get off the fucking bus? Are you waiting for the end of the bus ride? Or are you on the top sightseeing? Like, it's literally that different. And it is time for you to really take control of that. You don't have to settle. You don't have to conform. You don't have to let go of what you truly want in life. But you have to truly figure out what you want in life. And you are worthy of like the most bougiest, craziest dream. Just because somebody else doesn't understand your dream, it's okay. It's not their dream. It's your dream. Stop needing acceptance from everyone and their gosh dang mama on your dream and your vision, because it's not theirs and it's literally impossible for them to give that to you, and you're fucking yourself up. With love. I'm sorry, I'm kind of coming in hot. I hope you know that this is all with love. So it just says, like, obviously just like going really hard in life, and like, it's okay to want to have a challenge. It's okay to want to be successful. It's okay to constantly drive and constantly push yourself, but you have to stop doing that to everyone around you, because not everybody feels that way. And sometimes people feel really uncomfortable or really forced or really unaligned when they operate like that. And it's not your fucking job to decide how, when, what somebody should do or want. It is your job to control and want yourself. Easy enough. Hi. My kids know I want a reading, and every single one of them come out in the garage, of course. So this kind of just goes back to all Scorpios all the time, is just like solutions. You have like a very proactive attitude. Like, why? And not like with all the good things, like not with like emotional things, more with like physical things, or like, oh, like working at a clinic and a doctor calling in. It's just like, you are very proactive. You're not going to sit and complain. Like, yeah, you might do that later, but like right now we need to call these people. This is what we need to do. We need to leave messages. Are you doing it or are you not doing it? You're very proactive. And again, that is your gift. Stop trying to like stop that. Allow that to shine. Allow that to be amazing. Allow that to be your gift, because it is. You just don't have to have everyone doing it with you. It's okay to do it by yourself, and it's okay to be the leader without anybody else doing anything. Like, yeah, they can be lazy in your opinion, but like, that's none of your business. Do you know what I mean? Do what you need to do and what makes you feel good. Take a second to reflect. Says that when a Mars in Scorpio has low self-esteem, that instead of actually doing like the inner self-reflection and the inner self-work, it comes out opposite, and it comes out like I literally wrote Raging Cajun to everyone around you and everyone you know and love. You are a very nitpicky. You are very fast to point out anybody else's faults or anybody else's wrongness. Like, you are very right and you are very worthy, and like, you just have to stop expecting so much from everyone else. Like, you can feel love and you can feel really great things from people that you love, but like, all of the real good, really, 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 really good shit is going to come from you. It just is. And you have to just start accepting and loving yourself as this fiery ball of passion. And there are people out there that love that. Me included. Like, there are truly people out there that love that. And if you've lived a life that has not been, maybe not loved, you've been loved, but if you have not been accepted or like understood, you probably do feel very outwardly upset with life. And it takes a really strong person to take a freaking minute and to reflect with themselves and to identify that they actually might be the one that is wrong, or that is toxic, or that is putting out negative energy, and you don't have to fix everything for everybody, but as long as you're being your own rescuer, I mean, you're not meant to rescue anyone. Like, you are your own rescuer. No one's coming to rescue you, and you're not going to rescue anyone else. We're all in this for ourselves. Like, this is all a one-man show. And Mars and Scorpios, you just have to really accept that and should just start loving yourself. Start telling yourself those affirmations. Start writing down in the mirror that you look at every morning, I am beautiful, I am worthy, I am gorgeous, I'm a gorgeous, gorgeous girl. Literally, like, you have to start from the ground up, and that means writing and saying things 30 plus times a day over and over to yourself. You are going to reprogram how you think. And if you don't feel confident and you don't feel those things, it's okay to lie to yourself. And it hurts my heart to even say that, but I've been there. I've literally been there. That's where I started my journey, and I didn't feel worthy. I didn't feel successful. I didn't feel worthy of being smart. I didn't feel worthy of being seen or heard. And it's not until I literally reprogrammed myself and started telling myself what a fire, magical, really special person I was, and then really digging in and really finding my gifts and my true passion and excitement. It's not until then that it really just becomes nature. And fake it till you make it. I hate that saying, but like, it kind of is true for this. So we are going to end on that. We're going to end on that, Mars in Scorpio, and then I'll come right back with part 3, our final part, with everything else. All right. See you soon.